What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a shout out to Legendary for both notifying me about this story and also for your donation to the channel. All right, thank you for your contribution, and thank everybody that has supported me over here on YouTube and the Patreon. I'd like to thank also the last couple of new people that signed up to the Patreon. I will be uploading probably 2 videos for Patreon today, and I'm trying to upload more basketball related content now that the election is over with. So yeah, that's what's coming up this week. You know what I'm saying? More uploads, more activity. So it was already reported that Chris Paul is a coveted free agent. Two top potential destinations: the New York Knicks and the Phoenix Suns. All right. To me, it makes more sense for Chris Paul to go to the Phoenix Suns over the New York Knicks for a couple of reasons. Number one, fuck the New York Knicks. All right, fuck James Dolan. I'm sorry, don't mean to offend Knicks fans, but James Dolan is a jerk. Players don't want to go there. You know, ever since James Dolan became the primary owner of that team's been deteriorating. The Knicks, I mean, it is what it is. Okay, um, as disrespectful as James Dolan is, it just I really sour on the Knicks. Plus, they're a terrible team. Um, it would make more sense, in my opinion, for Chris Paul to go to the Phoenix Suns. Number one, they're further along. They just missed the playoffs this year, and Chris Paul, in addition to that roster, probably would put them in the playoffs. Phoenix hasn't been in the playoffs for, I believe, quite some time. Maybe what? When the last time Phoenix been to the playoffs? Has it been since the Steve Nash era? I'm trying to remember. It's been a minute. And also, maybe that would quell some of the Devin Booker situation. He's frustrated. He's becoming disgruntled about not making the playoffs. So maybe that would, you know, I guess kill two birds with one stone, so to speak. One signing would kill two birds with one signing. Chris Paul is also 35, so he doesn't have as much time as some other people. So I don't think he needs to go to a situation where, it's more of a arc as far as when this franchise going to, get better, get improved, and be a playoff team. So to me, it makes more sense. Plus, he only has 2 years remaining on his contract. So I think that's the better scenario. Now, he's not the only free agent. Apparently, Russell Westbrook wants to be traded. Okay? According to both ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski and the Athletics' Shams Charania, Russell Westbrook wants to be traded. Okay? This comes after reports from ESPN that both Westbrook and James Harden have expressed concern about the direction of the franchise. Okay? This, over the last couple of what the last month really, and some change, we've seen the departure of Mike D'Antoni and also the departure of Daryl Morey. All right, so I believe both men are in Philly now. So what this tells me, by the way, James Harden, even though he expressed concern, remains committed to staying with these Rockets. What this tells me And also, yeah, I have to say this because this would add to my take on this. Russ wants to return to the role that he had in OKC, presumably being the primary ball handler. All right, so this is what this tells me. I like Russ. I do. I like Russ a lot. On the one hand, this probably tells me that he's tired of deferring to James Harden. He's tired of playing off ball. He wants to return to what's, I guess, what he feels is more comfortable for him. Okay, which is being at the point guard position. This is where I have to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of analytics, right? But I am, just like anybody else. You notice certain things, okay? You see certain things over a period of time. Now, prior to the coronavirus pandemic, okay, prior to that, the way Russ was playing in Houston, where he basically stayed away from shooting threes, primarily shooting some mid range, but mostly scoring in the paint, was the best I saw Russell Westbrook look in his career. Now, last season, Russ shot about 47% from the floor, which is a career high. But during that span where Russ essentially became their point, well, I don't know if you call it point center, or I guess you would call it, I guess that's the role. He shot 52, 53% from the floor. Now, granted, he would take 24, 25 shots, but he would knock down 12 or 13 of them. That's just, you don't see that type of efficiency from Russ. Okay, Russ is better playing off the ball. Now, in the bubble, I don't know what happened. Russ was regressing. I don't know. Look, at the same time, you got to be fair. He did deal with COVID. Russ still is kind of not quite the same, in my opinion, from the surgeries. So that has to be brought to. But the COVID might have affected his game. I don't know. Then again, Donovan Mitchell had COVID and he was putting up 39 a game in the first round against Denver. So I don't know. But all I'm going to say is this. What this tells me about Russ, and I'm going to get James Harden too, is that he's primarily concerned about putting up those triple doubles. Not necessarily having to score 25 or 30 a game, but he wants the ball in his hands to be able to average those triple doubles he was averaging before. That's what I think. Because look, this past year, Russ probably only had 4 or 5 triple doubles. When he was playing in OKC, he was averaging what, 20 to 25 triple doubles, maybe 30 a season. Remember the year when he got the MVP? He had 42 or 43 triple doubles. At the pace he was going, he should already be knocking on the door for passing Oscar. Oscar officially has 181 triple doubles. Officially, okay. Russ, I think, is at 140 something, close to 150. I think Russ cares about that triple double thing. I think that he wants that to be his legacy. Mr. Triple Double, Mr. All Time. That's his ticket to the Hall of Fame. Even if he doesn't win a damn championship, doesn't go to another finals. It's like Mr. 3000 with Bernie Mac. That's like the magical number. I think him passing Oscar, you can't take him out of the Hall of Fame. And it's the thing, he will be a Hall of Famer. Russ has 3 seasons averaging a triple double. He went for it. Uh, but he did it. He accomplished it. It's still an amazing accomplishment. Even though he tried to average triple double, that's true. It's still an amazing accomplishment. But yeah, as far as winning, no. I I think Russ is more interested in putting up numbers. At this point, man, you got to like really look at guys for what they are. Okay, and these are guys that say they want to win, but in reality, they're too individualistic, and you see it come out time and time again. And I'm not going to be fooled by that anymore. You know what I'm saying? When a guy like Russ is talking about you can't stop me, and you're getting blown up by 30 points, um, that kind of tells me that this guy really isn't in tune with the team concept, and something's a little off with Russ. There's being competitive, and then there's being selfish. Okay, and Russ comes across to me as being kind of selfish. Until proven otherwise, that's just how I'm starting to look at Russ. I still like him. Um, I think if he goes to the Knicks, he might average something like 25, 8, and 11. He's going to have a lot of triple doubles. They're not going to go anywhere. They might win 30 something games. But they're not going to make the playoffs. But he's going to put a lot of triple doubles. But he's also going to turn the ball over 4 times a game. He's going to make a lot of boom. He's going to turn the ball over. He's going to have some games where he turns the ball over 10, 11, 12 times. All right. He's also probably going to be rather inefficient. Probably, especially because it seems like as he gets older, his outside shot gets worse and worse. At least the year he won the MVP, he shot 34% from three. Now it's to the point where he's struggling to make 25% of his three. So he's going to be inefficient. He's probably going to shoot somewhere around 40, 41% from the floor. Maybe even lower than that, depending on how many shots he's actually taking and what type of shots he's taking. You know, it is what it is. I think for Russ to be successful, he's going to have to be in a situation where he's being coached by and be in a system, excuse me, that's restricting him, um, like a Popovich or something. That's the only situation where or Phil Jackson was still coaching a little bit younger, something like that. It's going to take a strong coach and a strong personality to rein him in. Other than that, I just don't see a lot of success for Russ. Now for James Harden, it's even worse. Now I'm not even going to go into the fact that with Houston, here you have a situation, you have a Hispanic as a general manager, and an African American as a head coach. You know what I'm saying? If I were these guys, I would thoroughly love this. Now you really have a situation where you have two minorities, and I want to make them look as good as possible. Okay? I want to make them look as good as possible. But, a lot of people tell you, look, man, it's a lot of stuff I've heard about these guys, man, but I don't go into it because I don't know if it's true and I don't want to put it out there. But it's a lot of stuff I hear about some of these dudes, man, that make you question their authenticity as brothers. I put it like that. But I don't know if it's true or not, so I don't want to report nothing that's not factual. But the fact that James Harden and Russ too, but James Harden now is concerned about Daryl Morey and D'Antoni not being there, is because he's concerned about, well, damn, maybe I don't have the green light to shoot the ball 25, 30 times, a night anymore. I don't have the green light to shoot 15, 23s a night. Once again, a player concerned about his numbers. Now, James Harden is even more egregious in this because even though Russell has a low basketball IQ and he has a lot of deficiencies, I do think that Russ wants to win. he just don't know how to go about doing it. James Harden, I think, really doesn't give a fuck about winning. He says it, but he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't. He cares about putting up numbers. He wants to be compared to Will Chamberlain, everything said and done. He thinks by putting up a lot of numbers, that's going to be his ticket to greatness, his ticket to being a top 5 all-time player. You know what I'm saying? Maybe in Nick Wright's eyes, he's top 15, top 20. But in most people's eyes, he's not even top 50. And I don't have him top 50. At one point in time, I had him cracking the top 50, but I can't put no fucking stat pattern in there. Fuck him. Maybe eventually I have to put him on top 50 because his numbers are going to be too gaudy. But I'm always going to hold it against him because of how he goes about doing things. Anytime when you have a guy who is visibly pissed because Dan Tony's taking you out of the game, that's a 40-point blowout, right? Mind you, you've been playing for a quarter where the score's been a blowout, padding your numbers. You got 60 points with 7 minutes to go, and it's a 40-point blowout, and you're pissed because you can't sit there and pad your numbers anymore. Yeah, Kobe had 81, but the game didn't really blow open until the final 3 minutes of the game. It was a nip and tuck game where Toronto actually was up earlier. So Kobe was justified in shooting the ball that much. Mike, when he got 69, that was an overtime game. So he was justified. It was within the flow of the offense. Nothing was really forced. James Harden sometimes forces shit. But he enjoys that green light of being able to average 36, 37 points a game. He enjoyed that. Mind you, James Harden, to me, showed he put more energy into complaining about not getting MVP against Russ, and he put more energy into complaining about not being MVP over Giannis than he did losing in the first round. Just pay attention to his body language, pay attention to how he talks after these situations where he gets eliminated. He shows that he's mad, but he was pissed that he didn't get MVP. That's not a guy that wants to win. These are guys that just want to put up numbers. One wants to score 40 and 50 points a night. The other one wants to average a triple-double. So if you're a Houston Rockets fan, you know, um, if they do trade Russ, you know, now James is going to go back into that role of primarily shooting the ball a lot. Now Russell's gone. And he's probably going to average 34, 35 points again. So he's cool with that. He's cool with that. And to me, it's just disgusting. It doesn't impress me. If you notice, if if you notice something on my channel, if Curry or Durant or somebody scores 50 or 60 points, I make a video about it. Have you ever really seen me make videos about James Harden? Not really. If he ever broke Kobe's mark, of course I'd report that. But all these other games, they don't impress me. I've been called a hater because I say it don't impress me. It don't impress me. You know what impresses me? Kobe scoring 50 against the Phoenix Suns, and you know, and Kobe hitting the game winner, giving them a 3-1 lead against Phoenix. Everybody knocks Kobe because they blew the 3-1 lead. They shouldn't even had a 3-1 lead against their team any motherfucking way. You know what I'm saying? What impresses me is Steph Curry on the road dropping 20 points in the second half and leading his team to a victory against a hapless Rockets team that should have fucking won because the Warriors didn't have Durant. That impresses me. Damian Lillard dropping 50 in the playoffs and hitting the bucket to eliminate the Thunder. Even though I didn't like it at the time, that was fucking impressive. What Kawhi Leonard did 2 seasons ago with the Raptors during the playoffs, that's impressive. Dropping 61 points against the worst team in the NBA with all the lax rules that we have now for basketball. That shit don't fucking impress me. Do it in the postseason. That's why Town calls them regular season James, as a pun on big game James for James Worthy. A take on that, really, because that's what he is, regular season James. In the regular season, James Harden puts up great numbers, but in the playoffs, they always drop considerably. Where are all these great performances in the playoffs? Because he's limited. So that's all I got to say. Tell me what you guys think.